Hi everyone, this is Richele Henry, the Sugar Mama, and I am joined today by one of my best friends in the whole entire world, my soul sister, Taraleigh Weathers. Woo! Taraleigh Feathers. I see all your feathers hanging down. They're so pretty.
Thanks.
Thanks for being with me today. And, I just want to share you with the world. I feel like you're such a special and important person in my life. And we've been friends for many, many, many years, like, I don't know, 17 years. That's like a long time for a friendship. And one of the things that I really love about you, and I've known about you since the moment I met you, is that you are full of sparkle. And you bring so much joy into everyone's world. And now you are a joyful living and abundance coach. And that's like so perfect. That's like so you. It's so perfect. So I want to, I want to just like pick your brain and hear about what your work is like now and how people can get connected with you and learn about how they can learn more from you.
Yay, well, my brain is ready to be picked. And
Awesome.
the awesome in me sees and bows to the awesome in you and all of your people.
Thank you. Thanks for taking the time to be with me today. So, you have an amazing life, a magical life, one would say. You live in Burlington, Vermont, in that beautiful, eco-sustainable space that your husband like built with his bare hands, which is amazing. And you're married to an amazing man named Dan, who you love, who is also very hot. And you have a thriving practice as a joyful living and abundance coach. So, what was life like before for
Yeah,
you?
I mean, it was way different. I mean, when I first came out, when I was born, I was happy like most babies are. And, our sole purpose as babies is to just experience joy. And all of our parents want us to do is to smile. So they do everything in their power to make us smile. And then somewhere along the way, we kind of, at least I did, I lost that. And, I was really distracted by the drama of boys or if people were going to like me, if I was going to be popular, all of those stresses. And so I kind of got lost along the way. And I would say when I went to the Institute for Integrative Nutrition is when I realized that we can create our lives and we are totally responsible for what our lives are like. And then I was like, well, holy crap, because my life is not the way that I want it to be. So I remember one particular moment I was with my ex-boyfriend and I was sitting on the couch and I wrote an ideal list of the person that I would want to be with ideally. And so I just wrote all of these things. And then I look at my boyfriend, he's great and awesome, but he was passed out on the couch. It was like a Sunday at 2. I wanted to go hiking and play outside. And he had chicken parm, like smeared all over his face. And I was just like, what am I doing? But I know that I totally created it because I remember right before we got together, I said, I want to be with someone fun. And he was really fun. I mean, not in that particular moment, but he was really fun. But I forgot to mention that we would have fun together. And so I totally created that of we had fun, but not fun together. And we were just keeping each other mediocre. Like I didn't help him become a better person and he wasn't helping me either. And so once I released that relationship and committed to really choosing things that light me up, that come from a place of love in all aspects and not settling for anything less is when the magic and miracles totally happened. I moved to Vermont. I had all amazing drama-free, fabulous, magical friends. I was with Dan. I moved into his house 30 days later, which is crazy. And then I chose to not choose jobs that were just for money. I had to really love them and be passionate about them. And then the money actually came in even bigger ways. So I think I answered your question.
Yeah, wow. And I so clearly remember that time, but it's so vivid, the picture that you paint, right? And how we all, on some level, are attracting everything into our lives, right? Like even the boyfriend that was fun but not fun and didn't help you grow, and right? Like when we have contrast, we then get to experience what's missing, and then we can ask for that. So you got that, like you want someone who encourages you to grow and someone who you can have fun with together, and then you manifested Dan.
Yeah, and it wasn't serving either of us to be together because now my ex-boyfriend just got married to this amazingly beautiful, motivated girl, and he's doing amazing too. So it wasn't serving either of us to be together. So it would have been cruel for both of us to stay together.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like the scary thing and the hard thing to break up, but that is actually, when you look back, that's like the easy thing.
Yeah.
And the fine thing.
I can so relate, and I, you know this, I often follow in your footsteps. That's been a theme in our friendship, but not long after you ended that relationship, I ended a relationship too, and what you did, the courage that it took for you to say, I'm going to honor what's true for me above being comfortable, right? Because it's uncomfortable to make that separation, but I saw you do it, and you inspired and encouraged me, and now I'm married to Lucas, who I love and adore, and yeah, it's awesome. So thanks for setting that beautiful example for so many of us who are in relationships that no longer serve us, and then encourage us to move towards what our heart's desire is. And I love that you said you never took a job for money again, and you only did what you loved and were passionate about, and then the money started to come. And I think that's a big thing for a lot of people, is like feeling trapped in a career or in a job that they don't really feel passionate about or don't like, or even is like stressing them out or zapping their energy. So yeah, we're talking about a lot of things. We're talking about love and relationships. We're talking about career and money, and we're talking about, just like creating this magical life. So that's a lot. That's like a tall order, right? So I want to hear, what are some of your favorite people to work with? Like what brings someone to you to do this deeper work and find their joy?
Yeah, well, they're usually music fans because I am a huge music fan, and I'm big in the music scene, and I don't know, I do everything in my power to see as much live music as possible. And so a lot of my people that I work with are music fans, because I think when we go to shows like this, we are free to be our true, authentic selves. Like, people wear crazy costumes. They're like rocking out like nobody's watching or everyone's watching, but they really don't care. Like, they're crazy and being their true, authentic selves. And it's like they blow their wad at the show of being their true, authentic selves. And then when they come home, they're like so depressed. And we call it post-show blues. But it's like it's like they're two separate lives. So when they're at these shows, they're their true, authentic selves and who they really want to be. And they're fully expressed in love and joy. And then when they come home, they're in these jobs that they don't like, relationships they don't like, and whatever. And so they feel like trapped, and they don't live for today. It's like they're just thinking about the next show when they can feel that way again. So I really help them to bring what they feel and love about a show into their everyday lives. And lately, I've been working with people that are in the music industry that are creating these amazing shows and festivals for people to experience, because they're working like, I don't know, 80 hours a weekend to make this show come true. And it's like the same thing for them, where they're like it's actually probably the opposite. When they're not at the show is when they're like their true, authentic selves. And when they're at the show, they're like, ah. So both of those kind of people are who I really love working with.
That's very clear. Yeah. And I was thinking about how, we could use like a show almost like a drug, right? Like, oh, that thing. And for other people, it might not be a show. It might be like the next dessert, or it could be like the next, I don't know, like whatever lights us up so much, and like we live for it. But then in the in-between time, we're not necessarily joyful, and we're not necessarily like living our true, authentic self, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes at these music festivals, it's very like drug centric and alcohol centric and getting as like wasted as possible, which it totally makes sense because if you're using this as your release, like you're going to go crazy.
Yeah.
And then you don't even remember the experience. So it's something you've been looking forward to for months and months and months, and then you can't even remember what happened. And so if you can be happy on a day-to-day basis, you don't need to go crazy when you're at the show because you feel good all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's something that you've been practicing for a long time, right? Like you you make your own little cocktails. Like what did you make? Like champagne water, where you got like sparkling water and they put like a splash of champagne in it, and that's like your cocktail, right? So it's like you're a stand for people to have fun and totally like be free without needing to use drugs or alcohol in order to have that. Even when they're at the show experience, like just be present and fully experience everything that's there, like all of the sensory input. Don't shut it down by using a substance that's going to alter you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because music is totally transformative on its own, right?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like amazing. Yeah. Cool. So I'd love to know, what is a piece of advice or one step that you would encourage someone to take who wants to live a more joyful and abundant life and they just don't know how?
Yeah, this is a great question. So I often sometimes just get caught up in other people's stuff. And it's like, I think that's why a lot of times I would get really drunk at things because like I would just go hang out and everyone's drinking and all of a sudden I'm drinking and then, wow, all of a sudden it's like 3 a.m. and I'm like drunk and I wake up and I feel like crap. And it's like, whoa, how did that happen? So what has been really helping me now is just checking in with myself and my heart and pausing. So whenever you're like feeling any kind of anxiety or fear, or you feel like you're starting to get caught up in this thing that doesn't feel authentic to you, just stop and pause. Like even if you're at a music festival, you can go in a porta potty, like it can be anywhere, and put your hand on your heart and close your eyes. We can do it right now, and just take a couple of deep breaths. And when you put your hand on your heart, you're taking all of the energy out of your head and into your heart. And then you just ask your heart, what do I need to know right now? And whatever comes up, there's no right or wrong. It's what is. And if you listen to your heart, it's always the right answer. Your heart is not going to tell you to go get wasted and not remember the festival. It's going to tell you to connect and love and all of that. So that would be my one big piece of advice, and that's really transformed my life personally.
That's so beautiful. And so just to sort of bring this to presence, the people that often connect with me, drugs and alcohol might not be their thing, but it's like sugar or food. So I just want to, offer that check-in, that what is it that I'm really needing or wanting right now? And, that's like the first step of my 5 steps for cravings. So it's like, it applies across the board. It applies anywhere, whether it's food or alcohol, or even if it's like a behavior that you're engaging in that doesn't feel completely aligned for you. So that pause and checking in with your heart and what am I needing, that's like a powerful tool no matter what, like anytime. Yeah. Thank you for that. So you have like a whole bunch of really exciting things going on. You're writing a book. Tell us about your book.
It's How to Become a Joy Addict, the 12-step program. And so that's exactly what it is.
I love it. And do you have an update? Like what's the timeline are you thinking? When might we be seeing it?
Yeah, I would say 5 to 6 months because it's completely written and done. I did my personal final editing, and so my editor just has to do 2 read-throughs, and I have to do my photo shoot for the cover, which is going to be so awesome. I'm really excited. It's going to involve the universe.
Of course it is.
Yeah, and sparkles and magic. And yeah, so
and unicorns.
And unicorns. Yeah, 5 to 6 months, I would say, will be in your hands.
Beautiful. So fall, so somewhere in fall, winter of 2014, we can look for it. Okay,
Yes.
cool. And you also have a couple of other ways that people can get plugged in and work with you and learn from you. So I know that you lead retreats, and you and I are going to be co-leading a retreat together in Vermont this summer, which is so exciting. And you have a program called the Rock Your Life Mentorship. So maybe just share a little bit about that and who might that be a good fit for.
Yeah. So if you connected to anything that I was saying today and you feel like, hell yes, I want to work with this woman, then you are a perfect fit. Yeah, and Richele is
that
one of the
says it all.
mentors. So, if you like love this woman, which we all do, then she's one of the mentors for it. So it would be great. And so is Matt Butler from Everyone Orchestra, and Oteil Burbridge from the Allman Brothers Band, and Ryan Montbleu, and there's like such amazing people that are the mentors. So I'm really excited about it. So I guess the first step would be to sign up for my newsletter. I send out weekly love, and you can go to TaraleighlLovesYou.com. I'm sure Richele will share it with everybody. And also, if you feel like a hell yes and you want to like know more and work with me, Richele's going to share a link where you can sign up for a free 15-minute magical session with me to just talk about however we can serve each other.
Beautiful. Yes, I'll post the link to your website and then also the link to schedule a call with you. And I know I feel totally transformed, and you're actually my go-to joy coach. Like, I don't know if people know this, but in my life, I've had a tendency to lean, for whatever reason, family history and, a tendency to lean towards depression. And I consciously surround myself with people like Taraleigh who are joyful and happy and help me see my inherent goodness when I forget. And so if you are someone who has that tendency, I just encourage you to surround yourself with people who help you remember who you are and people who bring that joy into your life. And Taraleigh is that person for me. And I've definitely called her in many a pinch, and she's uplifted me and supported me through it. So she's a great woman to have in your corner.
Yeah, I mean, we're not supposed to do any of this alone. And so it's all about finding your peeps and your community and your coach. Like, I mean, we all have coaches. Coaches need coaches, and everybody needs people. So if, like you're all here because Richele has spoken to you. And so if you feel like I am speaking to you, then maybe we're meant to work together too.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone, it takes a village to raise a child, but it also takes a tribe to uplift any human being, right? So we need to surround ourselves with the people who uplift us and really don't let us get away with anything. Like, none of my shit flies with Taraleigh or our other soul sisters. Like, I don't get away with anything, which is good. Yeah. That's a good thing. Yeah. Well, Taraleigh, I so appreciate you taking the time to talk with me and let me share you with the people in my community today. And I love you so much, and I'm so grateful for your presence in my life and for your friendship.
Thank you. I love you too, and this was such an honor, and I have like goosebumps all over from just talking with you. I'm like vibrating. So
yes, this is what it's like to be with us. That's what happens. Vibrating and shimmying and jazz hands. Lots of jazz hands.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Right. I love everybody out there too.
Love you and love you all, and everyone have a blessed day.